So today I'm going to talk about my favorite AI productivity tools that you should know in 2025. Some of them are for personal use, but most of them are for like work and business, so buckle up and let's save some time. Alright, the first one is called Sider. It's a Chrome extension and there is a free plan. So if you like learning on YouTube, if you're watching this video, you probably do. This is super useful. So once you have the Chrome extension installed and you go to any YouTube video, you have an option to like quickly summarize the video, like just a single click and it's going to summarize the video for you. But there's a whole bunch of Chrome extensions that can do this stuff. This is another cool part here. If you go to this chat option, you can now chat with the video. So for example, maybe there's a concept you can understand, you have a follow-up question, or maybe you just want to dig into something that was said and the video was like an hour long. You can just ask AI the question and it's gonna help answer those questions right away. So if you do spend a lot of time on YouTube, like learning new things, concepts, frameworks, just knowledge, this is super useful. It saves a lot of time, helps learning better, summarizing content, asking questions, and all that stuff. Speaking of knowledge, second one is called Perplexity. I assume you've probably heard of Perplexity by now, it's like kind of everywhere. But if you haven't, it's basically like Google meets ChatGPT. Honestly, I noticed that I've been using Perplexity a lot more than Google recently because like every time you have a question that you want to Google, it's kind of like information about like, fact checking stuff. I'm not talking shopping, I'm just talking like info. For example, let's say I want to know what's the difference between Notebook LM and 11 Labs' new feature called Gen FM, which can also turn like your notes into podcasts. Both are cool, but what kind of like the quick difference between them? So if you Google it, I'm gonna get like a whole bunch of articles. I'm gonna click through and if somebody's talking about it or not. If I use Perplexity for this research work, it's gonna take the information that's available on Google, summarize it for me, and it's gonna link all those references where it's getting the information from. So I can go and do the fact check. If it is pulling incorrect information, I can go see like where this incorrect information is coming from. So like I said, it's kind of like Google meets ChatGPT, and it is super useful. When I'm doing research for content as well, when I'm doing any sort of research, I kind of use this real quick to kind of get those answers which I'm looking for. I use this a lot, but I still use a free plan. In free plan, you sort of get like unlimited quick messages, but if you want to have a longer chat with the follow-up questions, or you want to use the other models, or you want to use the pro, which just has more intensive research sort of process, you can upgrade to the paid plan. They always have some cool discounts going on. If you're in university, there's usually programs with universities to get Perplexity Pro for free. Or right now it seems like they do have a Black Friday sale. So if you're watching this video and it's a video and the sale is still on, it's a good deal. So speaking of Notebook LM, again, this is another tool that was super viral in October 2024. Basically, if you hate reading or you don't have time for it, you can turn any content your Google Docs, your notes, your PDFs, any videos and stuff into a podcast that's like a conversation between two hosts, and it's super realistic and super engaging. So all you gotta do is upload multiple sources. So it's not just you can upload one PDF, you can add multiple files, and then once you have your notebook, every time you want to have a conversation with this AI, you can sort of select what sort of chapters you're trying to look for or which different source you want to use in this sort of conversation. So maybe there's a certain aspect of your notebook you don't want to refer to, so you can uncheck that one. But anyway, basically the idea is that you upload a bunch of things, and then here you have an option to generate a quick FAQ. You can sort of chat with all those documents. You can turn all that content into a study guide. But again, the most popular and most used feature right now for Notebook LM is to turning that content into that engaging podcast conversation. I read a lot of newsletters, but some of them are kind of really long, and I don't want to spend my weekends staying on the screen. So what I like to do is just turn those newsletters into the podcast and just go for a walk, and I consume the content as a podcast while I'm on a walk. So I'm getting my steps in, and I get to consume the information in a much more engaging way. All right, so moving on to the next one. So this category is really big now. There's so many different tools in this space. And if you're still not using a tool in this space, I think it's time you should think about that a little bit more. I'm talking AI meeting note taker. I assume if you're following my channel, you probably have a job where you work with a computer a lot, which means you probably have a lot of meetings. When you're in a meeting, there's so much information overload, it's usually really hard to process. There's so many AI meeting note takers in this space now. There's Fireflies, there's Otter. Honestly, just pick the one that suits your price point and you kind of using. But there's one feature I want to show you with Firefly I've been testing lately, which I think is super cool. And I don't know if other tools have that right now, but this is a feature I like using a lot now. So basically, if I use Fireflies for my AI meeting note taker, after every call, it's going to turn everything that was discussed in the meeting as tasks. I have this task feed on my Fireflies application. It has literally all the tasks associated with each people. So based on what was discussed and all the participants, it's going to assign those tasks automatically. And if it doesn't do that, you can quickly assign those tasks to the people who were in the meeting. And you can also sync it with your project management software like Notion, Asana, Monday, or whatever. And those tasks will be pushed directly onto your project management management software. So imagine like if you're in a product team, like, like your stakeholder meeting and stuff like that, and things are discussed as tasks, you don't have to worry about like forgetting things or like, missing deadlines and stuff. It sort of takes care of it itself. So I do think these AI meeting note taker apps in 2025 are gonna have like a bit more agentic behavior, that it won't just like take your meeting notes and just transcribe them for you, but it will also like start taking action on it, like, adding it to your calendar, adding it to your task system, like maybe generating briefs with things that were discussed. Again, I'm looking forward to see where these tools will go. The point is, if you're not using one, you should. So speaking of AI that will do the work for us, let's look into Zapier Central. So if you're not familiar, Zapier is an automation platform where you can build like automations with AI and no coding whatsoever. But they have this new product which is called Zapier Central. It's like a platform where you can like build your AI bots that can sort of like do the work for you. So all these bots sort of connect with multiple apps. For example, you can connect your Gmail, you can connect your Asana or Notion, you can connect your calendar. We're not going to dive into how to build an AI assistant bot with Zapier Central today. There's a whole video on that. I can link it at the end. So check it out if you want to know how to build that one. In this video, I just wanted to show you a few examples what sort of like AI bots you can build without any coding in like 5 minutes. So if you don't want to build from scratch, we can also just check out their templates. There's templates for like a bunch of these bots that are sort of like pre-built. All you now have to do is like connect your respective apps that it uses, and it's going to be good to go. For example, there's an assistant called LinkedIn Company Analyzer. So what this will do is like it will automatically pull the key information you're looking for the lead you're prospecting. We have an SEO analysis. There's one for like automated sales emails. I built one that sort of like uses Eisenhower matrix and like goes through all my tasks and tell me which ones I should be doing, which ones I should be prioritizing, which ones I should be delegating, which ones I should be ignoring or like scheduling for later. So like I built that AI assistant just using Zapier Central, and like every morning it sort of gives me that summary of what I need to do and not worry about. The next one you should look into in 2025 is called Agent.ai. So Agent.ai is like a LinkedIn but for AI agents. So this product is being built by founder of HubSpot, Dharmesh. So the vision for this product, which they have in mind, is kind of like if you want to hire like human freelancers, we have like Fiverr, freelancer.com, like TopTail and stuff like that. The idea is that as AI agents get better and better, they can perform the work for you. There should be a marketplace to like find those agents and like add them to the team, sort of like, outsourcing those tasks to AI. And this is exactly what this platform Agent.ai is. So if you go here, there's like a whole bunch of agents in the marketplace that are pre-built. And for every new account, like, so when you sign up, you get about 100 credits to use these agents. So like basically 100 tasks for free. I'm not sure what the pricing looks like after that. And you could see like for every task, how many credits the task will take and number of tasks that agent has completed. For example, if we use a company research agent, which is built by Dharmesh here, and we hire the agent, we put in the name of the company that we want to research for. I'll just say like, I want to like, research on Zapier. Now, like within a few seconds, it did like a whole deep dive into the research for that company. Like, so we have, founders, we have the like related companies, the competitors, all their funding data, their Glassdoor reviews, their decision makers, like recent articles, the funding stages, the web traffic, their social media stats, like how much money you're spending on advertising, which sort of keywords you're targeting. So instead of like ChatGPT, where you can just pull information, like, just like a single prompt and you get an answer and you have to prompt it again and then you have to do that again. These agents are like basically think of like ChatGPT, but it can like think a bit more and it can do like multi-step operations. So here, like this agent is able to like do a pretty good job in terms of like getting that all the information in a very structured manner. So that's kind of like the idea behind these agents. So like for your work, like if you are trying to get some work done and you don't really have the time for it, maybe if you are using Eisenhower and it's something you want to like delegate, maybe come onto this platform, see if there's any agent that you could use and delegate the work for, and it does the right job. To be honest, I am a little bullish on this project, and I recently did get access to like build and publish my own agents on this platform. So I'm like kind of curious to try out and play around with this in the new year and see if I can build some really cool agents that can do some really cool stuff. Leave a comment if you have any ideas of what sort of agents I should try building on this. But yeah, Agents.ai, I feel like it's going to be pretty useful for 2025. All right, moving on. So this one's for anyone who loves data or who doesn't, because it's hard. So it's called Julius.ai. It's basically like ChatGPT but for data. So you can upload any data you have, Excel, stuff like that. Let's say you have Excel, you have a bunch of raw data that you have like for your product, for your company, for your business, or like, working in a marketing team, you have data and you need to do analysis, you need to do reporting on that. All you got to do is like upload your data, like, or connect your Google Sheets. And instead of like you sort of like, writing all these formulas and trying to like plot stuff and like make it look pretty, all you got to do is ask AI like, hey, I'm looking for this chart. this for this sort of variables. This is what my data is. Can you do this for me? Can you plot this for me? And it's going to write all the Python code and it's going to do the data analysis work for us. If you don't want to start from scratch, we are talking AI agents in 2025. You can go to workflows here and there's like a bunch of pre-built workflows which you can use to do the analysis work for you. There's stuff for data visualization, data processing, data cleaning, statistics. You can do significance testing. You can do correlation analysis, time series analysis. Like all of these workflows are pre-built. All you got to do is like put in data, tell AI what to do, and it's going to do the work for you. So if you love data, you'll love making data-driven decisions. I think this one's super useful. It's, again, like most products, it's freemium. You can play with it, you can upload files, you can chat with it, but there's only a limited number of messages you can send every day. So if you do use it a lot, you can upgrade to the paid plan. I mean, of course, AI tools are expensive. And you don't want to like have a whole bunch of them and it's just have a massive bill at the end of the month. So the way I think about it is that like start using like all the free plans, like try them out for sure. Doesn't matter how expensive they are, and then sort of see how much time you save. You're the one using or the team using, maybe like just sort of like figure out the ROI on your time if you were to do that task without that tool or like with the tool, and see if that cost for those tools makes sense. I mean, this is how like I approach all the tools that I pay for. I have like over $1,000 bill for like all the softwares and tools that I use every month. But I do realize that it's cheaper for me to use those $1,000 on these tools versus to hire someone externally that will be like to hire someone to do all the tasks for me. If you need a video of like which sort of tools I pay for, let me know. I'll be happy to do that video as well. So next one. This one is called Map.this. For those who don't know, this is a project I'm actually involved with. My team and I have actually built this together. Super useful tool for anyone who consumes a lot of information. Basically, if you have a PDF, you can upload the PDF, or you can just copy paste the text from the PDF or any of the notes, or like your meeting notes, like a paper you're trying to read and stuff like that. Add it to this tool, pick flowcharts, hit Map.this. It will turn that sort of content into a mind map or a flowchart. So this is super useful for people who are visual learners. Like I map things out like all the time. Every time I'm brainstorming, I always have, like my circles and like how things are connecting. Like this is how we decided to build this out, because we realized that when you're trying to learn something or memorize something, just so much information to process, and it's harder to read like PDF all the time. So why not make it visual? Why not make it easier for everyone to consume information? So if you are a visual learner, check it out. It's called Map.this. I hope it gets even better in 2025. These were the 7 tools that are my favorite from productivity's perspective that I thought you should know in 2025. If this video was useful, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more AI tools and workflows to save you time, and leave a comment if there's a tool that I missed and I should really check it out. I'll see you in the next videos.